Step outside and witness the celestial spectacle that leaves us spellbound. A cosmic dance of shadows and light, a symphony of earth, moon, and sun. Brace yourself for the enchanting event that has captivated humans for centuries, the lunar eclipse. A lunar eclipse is an astronomical event that occurs when the moon moves into the Earth's shadow, causing the moon to be darkened. Such alignment occurs during an eclipse season, approximately every 6 months, during the full moon phase, when the moon's orbital plane is closest to the plane of the Earth's orbit. Where do they occur? This can occur only when the sun, Earth, and moon are exactly or very closely aligned, in syzygy, with Earth between the other two, which can happen only on the night of a full moon when the moon is near either lunar node. The type and length of a lunar eclipse depend on the moon's proximity to the lunar node. When the moon is eclipsed by the Earth, it takes on a reddish color that is caused by the planet when it completely blocks direct sunlight from reaching the moon's surface, as only the light reflected from the lunar surface has been refracted by Earth's atmosphere. This light appears reddish due to the Rayleigh scattering of blue light, the same reason sunrise and sunsets are more orange than during the day. Unlike a solar eclipse, which can only be viewed from a relatively small area of the world, a lunar eclipse may be viewed from anywhere on the night side of Earth. A total lunar eclipse can last up to nearly 2 hours, while a total solar eclipse lasts only up to a few minutes at any given place because the moon's shadow is smaller. Also, unlike solar eclipses, lunar eclipses are safe to view without any eye protection or special precautions. Types of lunar eclipse. Earth's shadow can be divided into 2 distinctive parts, the umbra and penumbra. Earth occludes direct solar radiation within the umbra, the central region of the shadow. However, since the sun's diameter appears about 1/4 of Earth's in the lunar sky, the planet only partially blocks direct sunlight within the penumbra, the outer portion of the shadow. Penumbral lunar eclipse. A penumbral lunar eclipse occurs when the moon passes only into the Earth's penumbra. The penumbra causes a subtle dimming of the lunar surface, which is only visible to the naked eye when about 70% of the moon's diameter has immersed into Earth's penumbra. A special type of penumbral eclipse is a total penumbral lunar eclipse, during which the moon lies exclusively within Earth's penumbra. Total penumbral eclipses are rare, and when these occur, the portion of the moon closest to the umbra may appear slightly darker than the rest of the lunar disk. Partial lunar eclipse. When the moon penetrates partially into the Earth's umbra, it is known as a partial lunar eclipse, while a total lunar eclipse occurs when the entire moon enters the planet's umbra. The moon's average orbital speed is about 1.03 kilometers / 2,300 miles per hour, or a little more than its diameter per hour, so totality may last up to nearly 107 minutes. Nevertheless, the total time between the first and the last contact of the moon's limb with Earth's shadow is much longer and could last up to 236 minutes. Total lunar eclipse. If the moon entirely passes into the Earth's umbra, a total lunar eclipse occurs. Just before complete entry, the brightness of the lunar limb, the curved edge of the moon still being hit by direct sunlight, will cause the rest of the moon to appear comparatively dim. The moment the moon enters a complete eclipse, the entire surface will become more or less uniformly bright. Later, as the moon's opposite limb is struck by sunlight, the overall disk will again become obscured. This is because, as viewed from the Earth, the brightness of a lunar limb is generally greater than that of the rest of the surface due to reflections from the many surface irregularities within the limb. Sunlight striking these irregularities is always reflected in greater quantities than that striking more central parts, and is why the edges of full moons generally appear brighter than the rest of the lunar surface. This is similar to the effect of velvet fabric over a convex curved surface, which to an observer will appear darkest at the center of the curve. It will be true of any planetary body with little or no atmosphere and an irregular cratered surface, Mercury, when viewed opposite the sun. Central lunar eclipse. A central lunar eclipse is a total lunar eclipse during which the moon passes through the center of Earth's shadow, contacting the antisolar point. This type of lunar eclipse is relatively rare. The relative distance of the moon from Earth at the time of an eclipse can affect the eclipse's duration. In particular, when the moon is near apogee, the farthest point from Earth in its orbital speed is the slowest. The diameter of Earth's umbra does not decrease appreciably within the changes in the moon's orbital distance. Thus, the concurrence of an eclipsed moon near apogee will lengthen the duration of totality. Selenilian. A selenilian or selenihelion, also called a horizontal eclipse, occurs where and when both the sun and an eclipsed moon can be observed at the same time. The event can only be observed just before sunset or just after sunrise, when both bodies will appear just above opposite horizons at nearly opposite points in the sky. A selenilian occurs during every total lunar eclipse. It is an experience of the observer, not a planetary event separate from the lunar eclipse itself. Typically, observers on Earth located on high mountain ridges undergoing false sunrise or false sunset at the same moment as a total lunar eclipse will be able to experience it. Although during selenilian the moon is completely within the Earth's umbra, both it and the sun can be observed in the sky because atmospheric refraction causes each body to appear higher, more central, in the sky than its true geometric planetary position. Lunar eclipse in culture. Several cultures have myths related to lunar eclipses or allude to the lunar eclipse as being a good or bad omen. The Egyptians saw the eclipse as a sow swallowing the moon for a short time. Other cultures view the eclipse as the moon being swallowed by other animals, such as a jaguar in Mayan tradition or a mythical three-legged toad known as Chanshu in China. Some societies thought it was a demon swallowing the moon and that they could chase it away by throwing stones and curses at it. The ancient Greeks correctly believed the Earth was round and used the shadow from the lunar eclipse as evidence. Some Hindus believe in the importance of bathing in the Ganges River following an eclipse because it will help to achieve salvation. Lunar versus solar eclipse. There is often confusion between a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse. While both involve interactions between the sun, Earth, and the moon, they are very different in their interactions. The moon does not completely darken as it passes through the umbra because of the refraction of sunlight by Earth's atmosphere into the shadow cone. If Earth had no atmosphere, the moon would be completely dark during the eclipse. As we bid farewell to the mesmerizing journey through the realm of the lunar eclipse, we are left with a profound sense of wonder and a renewed connection to the celestial wonders that grace our night sky. The dance of the Earth, moon, and sun during a lunar eclipse is a celestial ballet that awakens our sense of awe and reminds us of the cosmic symphony in which we are mere players. It is a breathtaking spectacle that unites us across time and cultures, inspiring stories and legends that echo through the ages. If you found our video informative, kindly subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on our